This is Kathleen, a farmer. Like most people in her country, she and her 8 children work on the land to provide all their needs. She lives in a small village called Ikengeza, on a wide open plain in Ismali district, near the town of Iringa, in the East African country of Tanzania. Like many of the villages, it's not exactly on the main road. The nearest highway is a dirt track. The village itself lies several kilometers through the bush. No electricity, no telephones, no running water. Life in a bush village is very different to life in the United Kingdom. The time is measured more by the passing seasons than by clocks and calendars. The village system in Tanzania is unique. It was created by moving people into ujamaa, or familyhood villages, and has helped to break down the traditional barriers between the many tribes. Although the upheaval it caused was controversial at the time, it has provided basic facilities for much of the population. Kathleen's village is one such community. Her children attend the local primary school and the dispensary if necessary. Like the whole village, they live under local elected leaders who can, at least in theory, take village concerns all the way to the national government. The ujamaa system may be unique, but the lifestyle of the villagers in Ikengeza is typical of subsistence farmers the world over. Their currency is maize. Their fixed points are planting, growing, and harvest. And their main hope is for a good harvest. This is the story of a year in the life of an African village. Harvest time. Matayo is living on his shamba, or farm, 3 kilometers from his home, gathering in the maize. He's got several acres of land, as well as a few cattle. He's a farmer of substance in village terms, even though when we first met him, he'd just paid a hefty fine because his cattle had eaten his neighbor's maize.
This year has been a good one. I planted very early, and we have had plenty of rain. I should get 20 to 25 sacks of maize. That's a good crop. It is very costly to transport maize from my shamba to my house, so out of my 25 bags, I will have to sell 5 to pay for transporting the maize up to my house.
The rains brought the promise of a good harvest, and the promise has been fulfilled. A good crop of maize, providing flour, which forms part of the staple diet, and sunflowers, which have their seeds pressed for oil, has come from most of the land in the village. Matayo's story started a long way from Ikengeza.
I came here from Njombe, about 200 miles from here. I came here with my family when I was young, very young. We were forced to come here in 75 by the Ujamaa policy. I wasn't happy about moving then, but nowadays I don't want to go back. I feel a calmer person myself here, and I enjoy living in Ikengeza. I started by working for other people in the village, helping with the farming. They paid me 15 shillings a month. In those days, I could live on that because there was no inflation.
Matayo lives in the heart of the village. His farm, or shamba, is 3 kilometers from home, out along the main track.
After I had been working for people for quite a while, I decided I should try and start my own farm. So I started farming my own plot. I used to hire it from the owners, but then I bought it from them. I am pleased that I own it now. I don't have to hire land from other people. It's very expensive to do that. When I die, then the land will pass on to my family.
Working the land dominates the life of farmers in the village.
Every weekday, I get up at 6 and go to the shamba. I work till 5, weeding, and then walk home. After dinner, I spend an hour or so talking to my children, my wife, and our grandson. Then I go to bed. It's hard work running a small farm in Ikengeza. Some days, mainly at weekends, we work at home, repairing the house, and I help the children graze the cattle.
It was after Matayo had established himself in the village that he started thinking of marriage.
I met my wife, Alafsa, in this village. She was living with her parents. After I came here from Njombe, I helped with the farming at her parents' place, and we worked together, so I got to know them all. I was about 25 years old when we got married. It's a good age to get married, because you know enough to look after the family. Of course, it can be hard work to look after them all, but I enjoy having them. My wife is very understanding, and we live together very happily, helping one another. You can see how well we work together. I've got 2 daughters and 1 son. Eliza is 19, Malaya is 13, and works in a shop in the city of Dar es Salaam. And Amani also lives in Dar. I'll have to ask Mama how old the son is because I don't know. My son has a child of his own, our first grandson. Neither of our daughters is married yet. I hope they do get married and have children. It will be up to them to decide whether to live in Ikengeza or move somewhere else. Things have changed a lot in the last 20 years. Nowadays we have a school, a local government office and several churches. 20 years ago there were none of these things.